Outside, just come in, please. I suspect chaos outside now. Please let me know. Do you release me to go outside? I think there's chaos outside. Can I go? Okay, sharp. Okay, I'll be on hand now. Okay, thank you.
Ndaqaphela ubukho buka Deputy Speaker we Legislature namalungu endlu yoqingqo somthetho. Ndaqaphela ubukho buka Deputy Speaker wase National Assembly, the Honorable Member Tsinodi namalungu from the National Assembly. Ubukho be former premiers, kings and queens, nenkokheli zonke zemveli zezwe lakowethu. The members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, the leadership of our provincial house and local houses, as well as the leadership of the Khoisans. Omeya bonke kwakunye ne leadership kaSalga. The leaders of political parties besesitshilo ba unobhala we-ANC in this province ukhona apha phakathi kwethu umfoka Ngcuka Ithobi nenkokheli zonke ze-ANC Alliance neminye imibutho yezopolitiko elapha nabaya baphumayo siyababulisa nabo. The business and the leadership of the civil society and inkokheli zabasebenzi nabasebenzi uqobo, Director General and heads of departments and other government officials, the esteemed guests, abemi belpondo, bonke abasemamele emakhaya. Good morning, goeiemorgen, kgotsong, molweni ephondweni. Somlomo obekekileyo sinenkqubela phambili ethungelanayo ekwakheni iphondo leMpuma Kapa ibe liphondo esilifunayo. Silapha ke namhlanje sizokwabelana ngezo ndaba sivumeleke somlomo kokuba sithunge induku ebandla xa sinika le ntetho yobume bephondo yokugqibela kurhulumente wesithandathu. On the 28th of June 2019, Honorable Speaker, we came before this august House and tabled a 5-year plan to build the Eastern Cape we want. Following the overwhelming mandate we were given by people of our province, today we are back here to provide a report on how far we have progressed to fulfill our electoral mandate. Ngeliphandle somlomo namalunga bekekileyo, sizokujonga umgama esiwuhambileyo nembongi itshilo apha yathi akho nto inozigqitywe ngobusuku obunye. Kodwa ke mandigawule ndiwarhuqa. Fellow citizen, we know too well how difficult and painful the journey of freedom was. We are survivors of the apartheid regime, the most cruel system you can even think of. We are survivors of the colonial system, but we never cease to believe that one day we will be free as this country. In 1994, we finally defeated the apartheid system, whose brutality knew no bounds, and ushered into power a government of the people, by the people, for the people. As we mark the years of freedom and democracy in our country, we remember some of the people who helped and played stellar roles in our struggle for liberation. One such eminent person, the late John was elected to be the first president of the governing party, the ANC, in its founding conference in 1912. Today is his birthday. We are forever indebted to President John Dube for blazing a trail to liberate the people of South Africa. The second eminent person we want to pay gratitude to is the late Robert Mamaliso. This unsung hero of our liberation struggle would have been 100 years old this year. We have not forgotten his invaluable contribution towards the achievement of our freedom and democracy. We are honoring these compatriots and many other fallen activists by working very hard daily to create a better life for current and future generations in our province. We are encouraged by the words of our people like Stelo Joni from Chabo village, who is survivor of the Bisho massacre. He wrote to me and said, and I quote, "Premier, we see the positive developments that freedom and democracy brought us. Keep up the good work, but focus more on rural communities." Your point is taken, Mr. Joni. Mr. Joni. At least we are born. Your point is taken, Mr. Joni. Accelerating the development of our communities, both urban and rural, is exactly what we are doing as government led by the African National Congress. We understand the change that we sometimes go through it, but already the Eastern Cape has turned the corner into a positive socio-economic trajectory in the past 5 years. If I was asked to go back to the day I was born and given the chance to choose the province of my birth, I would still choose to be born in this beautiful province, the province of Eastern Cape. Despite our challenges, we are resilient. We are decent, not our. We have shown great humanity to each other in the past 5 years. We showed up to comfort the families of children. We lost kulangxaki yasenyobeni. Together, we consoled many families who lost loved ones during COVID-19 pandemic. We marched hand in hand to demonstrate our disgust against incidents of gender-based violence and femicides that claimed so many lives of our women and young women like Uyinene Mkhwetyana, Uleandra Jayhels, Noscelo Mtebeni, and many, many other women in our province. Similarly, we bowed our heads to acknowledge and honor many departed compatriots who contributed immensely to our struggle for liberation and social cohesion. It is these kinds of selfless acts of Ubuntu, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, that make me proud to be a citizen of this province. We rejoiced together in the past 5 years when our sporting heroes and heroines performed exceptionally in the international sporting tournaments. We won the Rugby World Cup, Banyana Banyana, yaphumelela phaa kwi-AFCON, yazana ne-AFCON. A revived Bafana Bafana has just won a bronze medal in the AFCON. Our boxing stars such as Siveno Nchinga, the special one, continue to fight bravely, putting the Eastern Cape on the global map. Bendixelelwa into yoba ukhona apha phakathi kwethu namhlanje. Uba ukhona nje angaphakamisa isandla okanye aphakame simbone. Nansi ayi-champion. The only champion we have in the entire continent, the world champion, not just a champion, coming here from this land of Buffalo City. Our cricket franchise, Sunrisers Eastern Cape, has done it again, winning the Betway Trophy for a second successive year. Siyazinga ngani ke bantwana bomgquba kuba nizezona role models ninika ithemba kubo bonke abantwana beliphondo. Together with our partners, we will continue to roll out sports equipment and infrastructure to all our schools and all local clubs to nurture the talent for future sporting stars. The outstanding achievement of our sporting heroes and heroines inspire us to turn victories on the sporting fields. And we would want to turn those victories against poverty. We want to see the unemployment going down in our province. We want to confront the underdevelopment of our province so that all these sporting stars cannot leave our province and will remain in this province. Honorable Speaker, when we came into office in 2019, we were asked by the people of our province to do 7 things that would help us build the Eastern Cape we want. One of those tasks was to improve the performance of our education system. President Oliver Tambo told us, and I quote, that a nation that does not take care of its youth, that nation doesn't deserve its future, close quote. One major investment that any country can make for its youth is education. After all, President Nelson Mandela teaches us that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. 30 years ago, Honorable Speaker, our province faced so number of challenges in terms of education outcomes. Our matric pass rate was actually at about 57% in 1994. In response to this challenge, this problem, the successive administration have focused on improving our education outcomes by ensuring conducive learning and teaching environment in our schools. We sustained investment in the core education infrastructure by building schools, providing scholar transport, and school nutrition. Quality teacher training, development of technology, solution of the early delivery of learning and teaching material. As a testament to the success of these efforts, the matric pass rate in the Eastern Cape has been on a rapid increase since 2019. Enkosi Premier Maswale for laying that foundation. With partial decline in 2020 and 2021, we have registered a 4% increase in the pass rate year on year. Accordingly, we have reached the 80% mark for the first time since 1994 by achieving the 81.4% in the pass rate. Masibaqhubele aba bantwana benze lo msebenzi omhle kangaka. Bendifuna ukuthi sonke masiphakame sibaqhwabele kodwa ngenxeni yexesha masele siqhuba sibheka phambili. Since 2019, we've built close to 100 schools, giving all of them a complete makeover that our communities are proud of. Alfred Nzo, Mayor, was Alfred Nzo, sakhe izikolo ezingamashumi amabini eziquka i-OR Tambo Technical School ne-Ponseng Primary School. E-OR Tambo sakhe izikolo ezingamashumi amabini anesibini eziquka iDalindyebo Senior Secondary School neNkululeko Khalo Primary School. In Amatole District, we built 15 schools such as Quba Secondary School and Charlie High School. In Buffalo City, we built 3 schools, including Sopatisana Secondary School and Cove Ridge Primary. In Christiani, we built 17 schools, such as Bulelani Secondary School and Juanzana Primary. In Jogabi, we built 9 schools, such as Dinizulu Senior Secondary School and Ngaza Primary. In Nelson Mandela, we built 8 schools, which include Noninzi Luzipo Primary and Nkululeko High School, ebesiyo ivula Nkululeko just a few weeks ago. Last but not least, in Sarabadman, we built 4 schools, which include Bongweni Public Farm School and Clarkson Primary. Fellow citizens, if anyone tells you that government does not build schools, tell that person that is not true. The schools we are building come fully equipped, Honorable Speaker, with modern day amenities such as safe ablution facilities, science and computer laboratories, libraries and canteens. We urge SGBs to allow community members such as Umama Okanye Usisi Samela Matiso, who sells food outside in Nkululeko High in Karieja to utilize our schools. Bendiyovula esa sikolo, xa ndifika esikolweni ndifika apha kukho ikantini yakhiwe apha. So ndiyabuza kutishara uba tishara le kantini sawufaka bani, sawuyenza njani? But hayi sifuna ufundraiser ngayo. Ndithi phaya egeyithini kukho laa mama obethwa ngamaqhwa nyaka nonyaka othengisa iswiti nee-chips. When we improve an infrastructure like this, we are improving everybody. It's an economic activity. Allow la mama angene azovula le tech shop. Athengisele kule tech shop. Urhulumente aze azomnceda amnike more equipment yokusebenza improve into another level of being an SMME. So sivene ke ngaloo nto. Kuninzi okuhle esizawukwenza ekwakheni izikolo. Ulwazi apha eMdantsane sayakhela isikolo sikanokutsho kuba sisikolo esigqibe i-10 years sisizisa u-100% we-matric pass rate. Bendiphaya ke ngoku ndiyolontsha u-100% bachelors. They are saying that they had enough of 100% pass rate. They want 100% bachelors. One thing good about this, honorable members, is that abantwana bebesuswa pha baziswe ko-Sterling, baziswe ko-Hudson Park, baseMdantsane, basiwa ngoku e-Ulwazi because u-Ulwazi performs exceptional well. Ukwakha kwethu esa sikolo ke, we call it a rewarding education excellence. Sitshilo mos uba ngoku awukwazi uba usuke ube ngumhloli kuba kuthiwa une-30 years utisha. Uzawuba ngumhloli ngoku because you understand what we're trying to do, you perform, and we are rewarding the excellence. We've been saying education is a societal matter, and it is indeed, Honorable Speaker, a societal matter. I would like to applaud all stakeholders who practically support our education and who support our schools. People and companies who donate computers, uniforms, and other essentials to our schools. Ndifuna ke siqhubeke ngolo hlobo. The 4 universities in our province, Rhodes, Nelson Mandela, Forte, WUSU, have been phenomenal in supporting this work. So we want them to continue doing that work. Keep up that good work, Vice Chancellors and your teams. The government has also widened access to higher education. Most of us in this house studied under very difficult conditions when our parents had to sell livestock, some vegetables and fruit to send us to universities. But we have made it a point that the youth who come behind us do not face similar challenges. Since 2019, the government awarded bursaries that benefited over 5,000 young people who are studying in the fields that are in line with our economic development priorities as a province. Our bursary program has produced pilots such as Usisipo, Nofemele, Nokwanele Gobo. These are commercial pilots. Our bursary program has produced physicians such as Dr. Teresa Bruma. Our bursaries has further produced actuaries such as Kabiso Nganywa. These are specialized areas of discipline or professions that our people were denied access to before 1994. So, ukuvula kwethu incango, as Freedom Charter told us, we have allowed these previously disadvantaged young people to seriously see the potential they have also in contributing to the development of our province and the country. From this year, Honorable Speaker, onwards, I'm naming the Premier's Grade 12 Top Achievers Bursary Award, the Dr. Soyisile Nuku Scholarship. Dr. Nuku sincerely believes in the transformative power of education. Not just doing that, he has gone an extra mile to ensure that we improve as the 6th administration. We really appreciate that. This initiative has benefited over 6,000 students who could not graduate without settling their debts. As we continue with this, we are also adding more money, now working with our sitters, paying the debts or the historical debts of our kids in universities. It is part of our skills development program in the province. If a child is about to finish a degree, but a child cannot continue to finish a degree simply because he or she is owing the university, ours is to push that child across and make sure that that child struggles with at least with the qualification in his or her hands. So that's the kind of work that we are trying to do out there. So omnye wabantwana abaxhamleyo apha ngubhawuso Thiami wasePort Alfred othe kum ungumuntu wokuqala ufumana isidanga kusapho lwakhe. Ungutitshalakazi ngoku kwisikolo samabanga aphantsi iMsobomvu Primary phaya eCook House. In this sixth administration, government also invested heavily in higher education infrastructure in our province, particularly in building TVET colleges, admin blocks in our universities, student accommodation, and lecture halls. Ani hamba nidlula pha kobika nibona pha imali kaRhulumente ngurhulumente we-African National Congress who is building that particular campus the way it is. Nobubheka Fort Hare, nobubheka Nelson Mandela, nobubheka roads. We are improving that infrastructure, but also creating a bigger capacity for our universities because baninzi abantwana abapasa grade 12 nge-bachelors who are supposed to be going to universities. As we celebrate our progress, we also recognize the ongoing work we must still do, honorable members. Omnye wale misebenzi kukuphuhlisa ngakumbi inkqubo yokufundisa ngolwimi lenkobe. We will also heighten the rollout of digitized curriculum content. Let us continue to build the Eastern Cape that stands as a beacon of educational excellence. Fellow citizens, our philosophy of a better life for all is about building a human capabilities to attain a life standard that is both productive and long. Implied in this, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, is the need to promote access to healthcare and encouraging health lifestyles. In this regard, we have worked tirelessly to improve the health profile of our province. Life expectancy for women improved in our province from 56 years in 2001 to 67 years in 2021. Omama baphila longer than it was the case at that time. Men are also living 7 years longer than they were in 2001. Abona usijonga babenukubani ke ku-2001 ubale pha uba uzawuphila longer nge-7 years. But ngumsebenzi esizama ubonakalisa omhle esiwenzayo ukuimprova imeko zokuphila kwabantu bakuthi. We have seen a decline in the new HIV infections and increased access to ARVs. The plan going forward is to initiate newly diagnosed on antiretroviral treatment by 2025. Our analysis of the HIV and AIDS 95-95-95 strategy shows good progress. In the Eastern Cape, 93% of individuals who are living with HIV know their status. 79% are on treatment, and 92% show viral load suppression. Siyasebenza apha. Yiyo lento impilo yabantu bakuthi ikwazi ubhekela pha. The access to postnatal care improved from 52% in 2019 to 82.7% in 2023. However, maternal mortality remains a concern, particularly in the hotspot zones like OR Tambo and the metros. This prompted the government to establish over 500 youth zones across the province to increase the sexual reproductive health services targeting young people. As a society, we must confront the teenage pregnancy and support young mothers better if we are to make significant inroads to mitigate maternal mortality. Actually, we should not be having young mothers. There's nothing called young mother. We should be avoiding young mothers. Let's play our part to ensure that we go an extra mile to avoid young mothers. We have seen kids, MEC Math will tell, abantwana at the age of 10, giving birth. It is so sad what we are seeing out there. We've got to redouble our effort here as parents, play our part. Thetha nabo manoba inzima kangakanani. Baxelele balento yenziwa kodwa inexesha layo. Kuba xa ungayithethi ungabaxeleli awuzukwazi ukunika ubulumko. Bazawunikwa ubulumko phaa ngaphandle zezinye izinto ezicinga bazilumkile kanti azilumkanga ezizawumosha ilizwe. We renewed our focus on non-communicable diseases as mortality rates from cardiovascular diseases, cancer, diabetes, and chronic respiratory diseases. And those ones, we want to make sure that we focus on them and make it a point that we help our people. Prostate cancer accounts for 13% of male in South Africa. I want to appeal to men, particularly men above 45 years, to do prostate examination. We are going to run a massive campaign to promote this initiative because currently it is taken for granted. A functional healthcare system requires a reliable core infrastructure. This is why our investment in health went to building new healthcare facilities and improving existing health infrastructure, mostly in township and our rural communities. The proof of our work in 30 years of democracy is there and everyone can see. We built new Cecilia Makiwane, the 1.2 billion. This government did that here in Buffalo City. Saka is paid to get 600 million. Payenda Bangul, Alfred Nzo. Abantu basematatiel, bayayazi basinayo pha ikhuzong, TB Hospital nayo esiyakhe nge-600 million. Esematatiel. Abahlali basembongweni embizana ilali eyasiphathela umama uWinnie Madikizela Mandela nabo phaya sibakhele imeje community health center imeja sodolo sifikile napha isibhaqeni sakha iFlagstaff community health care. Xa sisithi sinenkqubela phambili ekwakheni iMpuma Kapa esifunayo sithetha ngalo msebenzi onjengalona esiuchazayo namhlanje. Silapha sizothetha esikwaziyo khona ukuze ningqine enikubonileyo. The healthcare workers are essential role players in preserving life and fighting the burden of diseases. We succeeded in establishing the second medical school in our province in Nelson Mandela. I'm happy that everyone was persuaded around this because this concept, when it started, people felt like we're trying to demobilize the Walter Sisulu Medical School. Walter Sisulu Medical School takes not more than 200 kids per year And you have got more than 1,000 young people now who can do medicine in our province. So it's an investment to do another medical school here in our province. Hence we did that medical school in Nelson Mandela University. Yenziwe ngulo rhulumente we-African National Congress kule term. While we take pride in our successes, we remain mindful of the challenges of our health system. Since 2019, we have delivered 312 ambulances to our healthcare facilities to improve response times to emergencies. More ambulances will be delivered also this year. Iyandikhathaza ke into kokuba abantu de bafowunele uPremier because phaya u-EMS akaphenduli on time. Inkulu ke lo challenge leyo sibe ezi ambulances sizithenga. But also, Honorable MEC, how to service these cars is going to be important. The turnaround time, MEC transport, you must actually work closely on that so that we don't see cars parked here waiting to be serviced up kwezi dealership sinazo up. Our cars, especially cars like ambulances, must actually come in and go out to go and serve our people. We are seeing a positive result in establishing specialized litigation unit to challenge medical legal claims. This has been our albatross, honorable members. There's been a significant reduction in the number of medical legal claims from 600 in 2019 to 200 in 2023. This is huge. We have also seen a decrease in the medical litigation costs from a range of 2 billion to 450 million in 2022. We're implementing preventative measures such as in-house cerebral palsy treatment, digitization of records, e-health services, and capacitation of health practitioners to sustain the reduction of medical legal claims. Honorable members, traditional male circumcision is a societal matter that upholds culture and custom. But it is now a health matter because we are losing lives. Ndiyafuna inkosi zakuthi ukuzinqandela apha, Madebo. Iinkosi zakuthi qho xa kuthethwa ngalo mcimbi kuthiwa ziinkosi, ngumcimbi wenkosi. Ulwaluko lwabantwana is a family responsibility. Iinkosi are just keeping that. Let's take full responsibility as parents when we take our kids for this process. Oku kusoleka kwabantwana kuyenzeka despite the concentrated risk-responsive intervention made by the 6th administration, such as age and health assessment, parental support, screening of traditional surgeons, quality assurance of initiation schools, and safety. Government will continue to support community by mobilizing all social partners to take responsibility for this important rite of passage for boys to manhood. Wrongdoers from families and practitioners will never be spared when they mismanage this practice. Our journey towards a healthier Eastern Cape is going on, and it requires continuous dedication and collaboration. And we must continue with our collective resolve to ensure that this must not wither. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, a central tenet of our liberation struggle was to give human dignity to our people, including the pursuit of decent living. This includes promoting access to formal housing for all our households. In this regard, honorable members and our esteemed guests, we worked tirelessly over the past 30 years to provide houses and housing subsidies to a large number of our people. As a result, Eastern Cape households who reside in the formal dwellings significantly increased from 48% in 1996 to 83.6% in 2022. We upgraded 115 informal settlements, benefiting 57,000 households in the past 5 years. A good example of our work on upgrading informal settlement is the Dakawa informal settlement up in Tanzania. Ndiyayazi abantu base Marikana ngapha eSomerset balindile ukulungiselelwa i-informal settlement yabo. So siyaqhubeka phana la program. We've adopted a kind of energized with a lot of agility to respond to such kind of issues. We also built 24,000 houses in the past 5 years. As a result, families in urban and rural areas now have proper shelter over their heads. I was in Katbek late last year to hand over keys to brand new houses brand new houses we built for 180 families who were displaced from a farm. The tears of joy shared by old people in that community were very, very much touching. Honorable Speaker, crime is disturbing the peace in our communities. If you are a government official who asks for kickbacks from service providers, you are committing a crime, and that is corruption. Xa umntana wakho efika nomlenze wenkomo ebiweyo niwufake embizeni nenza ulwaphulomthetho. Xa uphakamisa isandla kwiqabane lakho wenza ulwaphulomthetho. Ndiyabacebisa ke bonke abenzi bezi zinto baziyeke kuba liyatsha ibhayi kubaphulamthetho. Over the past 5 years, 16,000 people were arrested for sexual offenses. More than 12,400 of those people were convicted. We are doubling our effort to defeat the scourge of gender-based violence and femicide-related crimes. Similarly, we are not taking lightly the violence and discrimination against the LGBTQIA+ community. Nabo ngabantu banamalungelo mabangahlukunyezwa. Amasela emfuyo angonwabisanga abantu kwiilali zethu nawo siyawabamba. More than 2,000 people were arrested for stock theft and 700 were convicted in the past 5 years. To combat the scourge of stock theft, we will be rolling out the livestock identification traceability system in villages and farms that are prone to stock theft. The economy abantu bakuthi le siyacela aba bantu bahlukumeza abantu bakuthi ngokuthatha amathango bayiyeke ke lonto. We have seen the surge in crime such as cable theft, tampering with water systems, hijacking of trucks, and interruption of construction projects. We have asked the national government, particularly the president, to consider reinforcing the police to protect our major construction site. As you see that our province is a construction site, we don't want any delay in those infrastructure projects. Mbalele umongameli sacela ba president, sicela nje amajoni afike nje ahlale apha eca kwezi sites zezi projects because asizukwazi umelana nabantu akuthiwa zi-construction mafias abafika ba-disturb and destabilize our communities on the work that we are doing. So lo mcimbi we-crime and corruption, we're confronting that and we are prepared to deal with that. And we are not going to allow any intimidation of that. We have also done the DNA laboratory in Gqeberha, where we are also in that forensic laboratory doing the ballistic tests for all these guns that are being used. Sinengxaki ke yemipu ngoku emininzi phantse bonke abantu bathanda banemipu. I-problem ye-crime yase-Kapa nase-Gauteng siyifilisha apha e-Eastern Cape because we are this guinea pig abantu benza icrime ngapha babaleke bezapha naseThekwini ngokunjalo uninzi lwabo ayingobaseThekwini ngaba lapha eEastern Cape naba baseKapa uninzi lwabo ayingobase-Western Cape ngaba lapha eEastern Cape, but they commit all these crimes and create this network around. But thanks very much, Provincial Commissioner, for the work that you are doing with your team in actually confronting this. And the work that you are doing is quite commendable thus far. And we will be right behind Nina, but also lead you to ensure that this thing, a crime, is stopped in our province and in our communities. Honorable Speaker, whilst the level of malnutrition remains high, there has been a drop in the fatality rate due to severe acute malnutrition from 11.8% in 2017 to 7% in 2022. However, we have noted concerns raised by the South African Human Rights Commission in their recent report on child malnutrition and right to food. As an intervention, we are investing 60 million to support 30,000 vulnerable households in anti-poverty sites. Kodwa ke masitsho ukuba ukusuka ngo-1994 urhulumente oko ethe gqolo ngenkqubo zokususa ikati eleleziko. Enye yezo nkqubo zezi child support grant sizibonayo kuba more than 2 million yabantwana bayaxhamla apha eprovinsini kule child support grant. So siyaqhubeka nokunika abantu abadala noMinister Nimvile izolo ba ude wabayenzela uchatha ngokuna nge-100 rand abantu abadala khona ukuze siqhubeke sisidudula le poverty from the communities and our household. We have also supplied more than 100,000 families with food production inputs to build household capacity to produce food. Sinegadi, sinemihlaba, noko indlala zange sive ibabazwa apha eKwindla. Kuba eKwindla sube sifumana ukutya okufresh, umbona, amabolose, imithwane, njalo njalo. Ukutya okusuka apha kwezigadi sizilimayo. And ukutya okusempilweni. So siyafuna abantu bakuthi sibuyele kulo meko enjalo yokokuba noko sisebenze ngokubambisana. Honorable Speaker, growing the economy of the province is another important task we are given by our people. Before 1994, our provincial economy was characterized by exclusion and discrimination, including the special trap of being a labor-sending province. Our economy is still not growing at the rate we want it to grow, also to create enough jobs. As a result, honorable members, many people of working age remain unemployed in our province. Poverty remains a lived experience of many families despite the government's expanded social relief interventions. Our economic situation has not been helped by challenges of energy and supply. The COVID-19 pandemic, the natural disaster, and geopolitical conflicts we had to contend with in the past 5 years. So these are challenges, colleagues, that in the process of us trying to work a situation out and recover from COVID-19 we had to confront. However, there is a silver lining, Honorable Speaker, in our provincial economy. In the past 3 years, the Eastern Cape economy recovered to pre-COVID-19 pandemic growth levels. Our GDP was 362 billion in 2019. It took a knock in 2020-2021 due to COVID-19, but recovered to 365 billion in 2022. At the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, we established a jobs fund to protect jobs threatened by the subdued economic climate. We protected 6,000 jobs by supporting 202 companies that were on the brink of retrenching workers. The unemployment rate in the Eastern Cape has been on a consistent decline from 45.8% in the third quarter of 2020 to 38.8% in the third quarter of 2023. Together with our private sector partners, we created 246,000 permanent jobs for our people in the same period. In addition, government created more than 400,000 work opportunities through the expanded public works program. Having said that, we note the concern the job losses reported by Stats SA 2 days ago for the last quarter of 2023. This is a setback, but we remain resolute in implementing our economic recovery plan to reduce unemployment. We have said so, it's not a fluke, it wasn't a fluke, it's a response to our plan to ensure that we confront these challenges of underdevelopment, unemployment, and high levels of poverty in our province. Somlomo, ngumnqweno wethu ukuba wonke umuntu ofuna umsebenzi awufumane. Ngumnqweno wethu into kokuba sinqande i-brain drain. Abantu xa bemka ingakumbi bengabantu abatsha with qualifications besiya kumanye amaphondo, isishiya loo nto silambatha ngakumbi ukuqinisekisa uba siyakwazi ukukhulisa ezoqoqosho. Yiyo le nto sikwiphulo lokufuna abatyali izimali bazotyala imali in our province. The investors we have attracted injected a combined 173 billion into our provincial economy to open new business operations and expansions of existing operations. This means business will continue to hire more people and invest more money into our economy. In short, this is a sign of better tomorrow. Traditionally, Honorable Speaker, the strength of our provincial economy lies in the manufacturing sector. The manufacturing sector created 16,900 jobs for our people. Most of those jobs were created by the automotive industry. We're grateful to all the captains of the auto sector who are with us today for making business decisions that favor our province. In the past 5 years, our original equipment manufacturers, Mercedes-Benz South Africa, Volkswagen Group Africa, Isuzu, and Ford collectively invested over 22 billion for plant expansions to continue producing high-end quality vehicles that are mostly built for the export market. We have now added the Stellantis Group to our OEMs family. The Stellantis Group is injecting a massive 3 billion into the Eastern Cape economy. The impact of that investment will be felt by 1,500 new employees who will be hired to produce cars in the new factory that will be built in Gqeberha this year. Ithetha ukuthi amathuba emisebenzi amatsha asendleleni. This is one of the reasons we say we are making seamless progress in building the Eastern Cape we want. We are extremely excited, Honourable Speaker, about the future of the auto industry in our province. VW has just announced that they will be bringing 3 new models to South Africa. Mercedes-Benz recently announced 100 million investment for the second phase of solar panels to deal with the impact of load shedding in their East London plant. So we're quite happy with that investment. Government is pushing this other side to ensure that we are able to meet them halfway. On that note, Honourable Speaker, let me acknowledge the CEO of Isuzu, Ustatu, Mr. Billy Tom, for being appointed as the first black president of Isuzu South Africa, and also for being appointed or elected as the president of NAMSA since its formation in 1935. So the transformation is taking place walapha emnyameni Alexandria. Andazi basithathu undawoni apha kodwa ndicinga bukhona sithathu apha phakathi kwethu namhlanje. Enkosi sithathu. Siyazingca ke ngala progress because thina siyi province singqeyame kakhulu apha kule auto sector. Nditshilo kuba ngunyana weliphondo. We really greatly welcome all these developments as they cement the commitment of the auto industry in our province. Let me bring to the attention of the House that this year the auto industry is celebrating 100 years of existence in South Africa. Ford was the first company to produce cars in Africa when they opened an assembly plant in 1924 in Gqeberha. 100 years later, our province is home to MBSA, that is Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, Isuzu, Ford, FAW, and more than 118 component suppliers. And the impact of these OEMs and component suppliers is that they provide jobs to 60,000 people in our province and produce 56% of cars that South Africa exports into the international markets. There is no province that manufactures cars more than we do. That's why in the Funu Ford, I think Siselandro, Yasekhauti, Klo Ford, Kulaphe Gqeberha, we want them to continue with that standard plant not only for engines, but they must really consider looking at that as no one senza nje imoto apha sizifakena sikene enqanaweni zihambe singabe sixakeka ngokuba zenziwe kwenye indawo mazize ngaselwandle. In our last SOPA, we committed to assist 300 panel beaters and mechanics over the next 3 years to access markets from the government fleet and the insurance industry. We are happy to report that we have identified 73 panel beaters thus far from across all districts. We will, in the new financial year, avail funding to buy the identified panel beaters equipment such as hoisters and diagnostic tools so that they can be integrated into the automotive industry value chain. So that's work that we're doing as part of our township and rural economy. The impact of this progressive program will be a creation of jobs for mechanics and helping our young people and improve the township economy, as we said. But for them to grow and be self-sustainable businesses, we must support them by taking our cars to them for repairs. Siyayazi banifuna ukuthetha into ezininzi ngabo siyabalungisa ngoku. Ningenze baningaphinde nithi ngomanyindana niyazi ba ngabalungisi bemoto aba yi-economy. We also committed, Honorable Speaker, to install 13 electric vehicle charging stations. Phaya eKomani, naseMakhanda, naseMthatha, naseKhowa, naseMaletswayi, nalapha e-East London, eQonce, naseWillowmere, naseStones River, naphaya eCook House. The vehicle charging station will be online by May of this year, 2024. And this will ensure that the motorists who drive EVs will be able to charge their vehicles in our province. The Minister said, Wakwa Finance, what as a province, we are ahead of the curve because we prepared ourselves and we knew that this is inevitable. So as moto nihamba ngazo, ndiyibonile enye bendiyiphathelwe phaa eBhayi, ndiyoyiboniswa, sele zikhona ezi zingazofuna kugalelwa amafutha. Ufike uyiplage nje, ungene kuyiqhabala ke nawe, ikuse kwanhliziyo ndise. Honorable members, after the dawn of democracy in 1994, the ANC-led government adopted progressive policies that favored reindustrialization to stimulate economic growth. As a result, we established Kucha in 1999 and East London IDZ in 2004. Both SEZ host a combined 83 businesses employing 40,000 people. That is seamless progress in building the Eastern Cape we want. Besithe sizone reportela basenze ntoni sihambe sazomaphi uzothi gango kule 30 years. We appreciate the growth that these two SEZ have achieved. The last 5 years have seen significant growth with East London IDZ signing 24 investors with an investment value of 5.7 billion. Bushveld Electrolyte is operational, and Tezilanga is getting ready to turn the sword in Dabozuko, Berlin, for 50 megawatts photovoltaic solar plant. Most exciting has been the growth in export-oriented manufacturing in East London IDZ, which exported over 3 billion worth of products in the period of 12 months. Through Kucha, we are making progress in operationalizing 57 signed investments that are crucial for job creation. We will soon break the ground for the construction of new factory for the Stellantis Group that I've spoken about. And we are going to make sure that projects to look forward in the Kucha SEZ include tire energy extraction project and a planned data center. We are transforming the Eastern Cape, or the eastern side of our province, with both the Wild Coast SEZ and the Eastern Seaport developments gaining momentum and traction. The Eastern Cape Seaport will ensure that the processing of products at the Wild Coast SEZ and the establishment of that smart city we've been speaking about in Port St. John's. Sifuna smart city pa, noba sise Port St. John's, noba sise Coffee Bay, but pa Wild Coast, there must be a smart city that we are working with in the context of this Eastern Seaport that is championed by the Minister of COGTA. So we've got to work together on that one and make sure that we tame that Wild Coast with the kind of work that we are doing in that part. The IAS by the Wild Coast is that has got more than 2 billion off-take agreements, companies that are ready to come in and in ensuring that that industrial park will be able to take off as a matter of agents. So we are finalizing its status to ensure that we've got a board, we've got CEO, then it runs to ensure that it drives development in the eastern part of our province. Manufacturing, honorable members, is happening in 5 industrial parks, which are in Dimbaza, Fort Jackson's, Vulindlela, Butterworth, and Komani. Since 2019, we've invested 495 million for infrastructure upgrades in these parks to make them more attractive to investors. Our long-term plan is to turn Dimbaza Industrial Park into a multi-user complex with an element of shopping, zones, and incubators. In Fort Jackson, we are supporting a tenant looking to expand operations with a new state-of-the-art facility, which will lead to an additional 600 jobs. In Butterworth, we are focusing on the aftermarket automotive initiative. Honorable Speaker, as I earlier indicated, the strength of the provincial economy rests in the manufacturing sector. This does not discount the potential of other sectors as growth fronts for the future. We identified agriculture as a potential growth sector, and we've been proven right. The first good news we wish to share about the agriculture sector is that it created 38,600 jobs in the past 4 years. It has been our goal, Honorable Speaker, to create a new cohort of black commercial farmers, but we face the challenge of lack of productive land in our province. And I've been schooled recently as well at Doni, for us to produce more yellow maize, for us to have more production of red meat in our province. But that work is a work that we are also looking at it quite closely, because agriculture is key for us in the province. Since the dawn of democracy, we have been working hard to reverse this trajectory, because land is the primary factor of production. ukubuyiswa komhlaba ubuyiselwa abantwini bakuthi yinto esiqhubeka nokuyenza umhla nezolo. As a result, since 1994, we have distributed a total of 561,000 hectares of land to our people. Ifuthe lalo nkqubo kukuba ngenxa yalo rhulumente iifama ezingama-850 zisezandleni zamafama amnyama kwizithili zonke. This distribution of these farms covers the demographics of province fairly, with youth, women, and farm workers as the main beneficiaries. Indeed, we are sharing the land among those who work it, as the Freedom Charter directed us to do. Siyakhuthazeka somlomo xa sibona umsebenzi omhle nokuzimisela kwamafama afana nomama uVuyokazi Tenza eMatatiyela, ongumfama ophume izandla wegusha nenkomo zenyama. Umama uTenza mama uTenza siyazingca ngegalelo lakho kuphuhliso lwezoqoqosho lweliphondo. To ensure the security of tenure, Minister Thoko Didiza has already commenced consultation to transfer title deeds to deserving land reform beneficiaries. This will enable them to use their assets to leverage investments to make their farms productive. Honorable Speaker, we do not allocate farms to our people and fold arms afterwards. We support farmers, and I would want to see that work continuing, led by our Department of Agriculture and Agrarian Reform. In the past 5 years, the government completed a total of 905 agricultural infrastructure projects, which include fencing of productive land, stock water systems, dipping tanks, stock handling facilities, and sharing shares. These projects supported 33,700 smallholder farmers and created 4,900 more jobs. We've gone big on providing farmers with animals to improve the quality of livestock. More than 1,400 livestock, which includes cows, sheep, and goats, were delivered to our communities, benefiting 163 livestock enterprises. This year, we plan to distribute about 800 various breeds of livestock to farms owned by youth, women, and persons with disabilities. Each bull, heifer, sheep, and goat will give a farmer or farmers we give to farmers represent a building block towards a more prosperous and a sustainable agricultural sector in our province. Our agricultural sector has shown its resilience, honorable members, and was the only sector that grew during the COVID-19 period. The commercial provincial agricultural income has grown significantly in the last 15 years, with the highest growth recorded between 2007 and 2017, where the income grew from 5.6 billion to 27 billion. That is huge. Because of our investment in building sharing sheds in communal areas, wool production in areas such as Idutwa doubled from 2 million tons in 2004 to 5.5 million tons in 2021. In monetary terms, this means income increased from 18 million to more than 250 million in the same period. Our support for citrus farmers has led to an increase in the total value of citrus exported from the province from 4.1 billion in 2021 to 4.7 billion in 2022. Our investment in feedlots, honorable members, has yielded an increase of 4.5 million tons of meat exports from the province to Africa and Asia, which has resulted in the income of 317 million. Maize production in the Eastern Cape has more than doubled over the last 5 years, from 93,000 tons in 2018 to more than 198,600 tons in 2022. Oku kuyasinqumisa kakhulu kuba bubutyebi kumafama nengeniso encomekayo kuqoqosho lweliphondo. This is a clear indication that implementation of our agricultural transformation strategy is gaining momentum. In the past 5 years, Honorable Speaker, we have ventured robustly into economic diplomacy. As a result, we solidify our existence twinning agreement with partner countries, but also formed a new partnership with countries such as Tunisia, Egypt, UAE, to attract new investors and unlock export markets for all our sectors. We are forging ahead with ensuring that our province takes up opportunities provided through the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to advance the competitiveness of the province and to expand access to African markets. We welcome and celebrate the reappointment of the son of this province, His Excellency Mr. Wamkele Mene, as a Secretary General of AFCTA again. We really appreciate that. He has been doing a very good job, and I know I owe him a visit. He has been knocking to say, come on board, let's integrate your province into the African market. That's the work that we are able to do as soon as we come back after election. Ngoba siyabuya. Aba bamkileyo bami ke sobaphinde babona, sobaphinde bavele nta. Andibazi nabantu abanoza badlale ngexesha labo. Unika abantu abasafuna udlala upuca ngexesha lokokuba ubomi babantu busesichengeni. Sihambe indlela ende kakhulu somlomo kwicandelo lozokhenketho. The ANC-led government changed all that in 1994 by opening the tourism products for the enjoyment of all citizens. That is the kind of Eastern Cape we want, a non-racial Eastern Cape. Like other sectors of our economy, our tourism and hospitality sector was hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic because people could not travel. That affected tourism establishment and their employees immensely. The government stepped up to the plate by offering relief packages which benefited 484 tourism businesses. The good news now is that we are bringing much more improvement in the hospitality sector. And we have seen a lot of growth, significant growth that we have seen from our people who are in the business. In 2019, we had 2.1 million domestic trips undertaken into the province, and this grew to 5.8 million in 2022. The impact of these domestic tourist numbers has translated into substantial GDP contribution that exceeded 8 billion. We appreciate South Africans who take short left trips in our province. The Eastern Cape is yours to explore. Many balapha baze apha namhlanje kule sopa from other provinces. That on its own contributes to the tourism. Our hospitality industry here surely is smiling with this kind of an event that we are actually hosting today. We also recognize the role of modern infrastructure in attracting tourism to our province. Working with the private sector, we invested in various infrastructure projects, such as chalets, in viewing decks and enhanced attractiveness of our province. A hotel has been built by a private partner in Mkambati, and they are recruiting staff as we speak. Ndiyafuna la hotel ke iqhubeke. Kuthiwa yi-5-star hotel. If ibigradwe ngubani nini andikayazi, kodwa yi-5-star hotel. Ipha emampondweni. Ntandokazi. Mkambati. It is also worth mentioning that we have seen tremendous transformation in the tourism sector. Ms. Nolufefe Nozozo, who owns Pondo Adventures in Port St. John's, is a good story of tourism transformation. We must highlight, though, that we are not doing as well as we should in attracting international tourists to our province. Going forward, Honorable Speaker, we will ensure that King David Stirman Airport lives up to its international airport status. Domestic flights to the province will increase due to the partnership of Airlink and Emirates Airlines. Namqonda Emirates. Andifuna uthetha ngayo. Cheers. Kodwa niyazazi ibhaloni zakhe. Zike zahlala chairman apha eBulembu wonke umuntu wama ngenyawo. Zizawubuya ke chairman ukuzosincedisa sikhulise lo mnotho. The retail and trade sector is growing in leaps and bounds in our province. In the past years, the sector has created 31,000 jobs. Our goal is to forge deeper partnerships with supermarkets groups in retail to continue building warehouses and distribution centers across the province. We want to see rural development here. Amaxhegwazana, uba urhulumente ufaka about 33 billion in the economy of this province for lo mcimbi we-grant ngonyaka. Sifuna sibabone ospa bephuma kweza dolophana besiya pha ezilalini bebeka pha o-quick spa. Ubu-quick spa uyenziwa apha ngaselokishini makenziwe u-quick spa nakwenye indawo so that abantu abadala bangabi nenxamleko yobheka edolophini bayofuna iigranti zabo bafumane ii-ATMs and others there. So that's the drive, Honorable MEC Mvoko, you must champion to see to it that lo msebenzi uyenziwe. We are improving the facelift of our towns through the small town revitalization program, which Honorable Premier Maswale, you started here in the province. It is gaining momentum, it's growing leaps and bounds. We have seen a lot of difference into that space. We have seen SIFA coming on board and helping a lot of our enterprises around Fort Jackson, Bika, Ndabakazi, Stakespruit, Craddock, Magxaki, Elibode naseLusikisiki. Yonke lo program yenzelwa ukuguqula ubomi babantu ukuthi bube ngcono. Niyazibona mos as the filling stations that are mushrooming everywhere you go. Namhlanje eBika unedolophanyana eyakhiwayo from nowhere, which we have never even thought about at some point. The creative sector is a sector that is emerging in our province, and this is a very important sector for us. Our province is slowly proving itself as a destination of film industry. Since 2018, we invested 39 million in 25 film projects. The impact of our investment is that the film projects have attracted an investment revenue of 499 million. Sifaka thina, 39 million. Yona idale 499 million. Dala amathuba omsebenzi kubantu abatsha, more than 8,400 people found jobs in those films. Mostly youth and benefiting small businesses of about 690 as well. Xa kushutwa la film phaya ininzi into eyenziwayo asiyonto nje elula. Namhlanje wonke umuntu akafuna uphoxa. Imbiza ziyatsha ngugqeberha. Wonke umuntu ufuna uyobona. Your Nakli City, which was done here in Mdantsane, was also supported by our government. Your Queenstown Kings and Wild is the Wind, and many and other projects that are happening there. While we celebrate progress achieved in the film industry, we want to acknowledge local musicians and other artists who continue to fly the flag of Eastern Cape nationally and internationally. Honorable Speaker, we are strong believers in the small businesses as a vehicle to grow our economy and create jobs. Before 1994, there was no financial support, no policies to affirm black-owned businesses. The ANC-led government changed all that in 1994 and created an enabling policies to transform the economy. As we speak, the provincial procurement spend on Eastern Cape-based service providers is at 54.4%. We're improving the time we take to pay businesses because they are our partners for development. Sisana ngakanyana power health siyayilungisa. education is coming all right. All other departments are able to pay our SMMEs within 30 days. So it's important that those two departments also jack up their socks and ensure that our SMMEs are also flourishing and are thriving through the support of government. In the past 5 years, the government, through ECDC, provided business loans to over 500 small enterprises. We augmented these loans with financial incentive which benefited enterprises and cooperatives. We are honored, Honorable Speaker, to be joined in this House today by Mr. Thabo Somlotha and Mr. Mzimasi Jalisa, who represent Farm Produce Cooperative and JJ Primar Cooperative, respectively. They are part of cooperatives that benefited from the government financial incentives that have created a combined 1,500 job opportunities in their communities. Siyaqhuba. Fellow citizens, the efforts we are making to grow our economy are meant to benefit all our people, particularly the young people. When we started this term, we were not happy with the investment footprint of sector education and training authorities in our province. That is SETAs. That has all changed, Honorable Speaker, because 13 SETAs have trained more than 29,000 young people through various skills programs in the past 3 years. And Londo, isiyasincedisa kakhulu ukunika abantu abatsha amathuba okufumana imisebenzi. Young people have been equipped with skills of the future in the automotive assembly, renewable energy, digital forensics, and cloud computing. In the coming month of April, we will be launching the MESITA Mega Skills Project, which will benefit more than 10,000 young people in our province. In collaboration with various partners, we also trained more than 8,000 young people in skills such as animal and vegetable production, cell phone repairs, beautification, and early childhood development. The disability sector should be happy to hear that the 8,000 young people trained, 700 are youth with disabilities. The number is set to increase as we implement further partnership with the disability sector to train young people in artisan skills. Speaker and honorable members, government has made and will continue making interventions to curb youth unemployment. The Presidential Youth Employment Initiative alone created 172,000 jobs in our province for youth, for young people who worked as education assistants and residing and reading champions in our schools. The young people of our province are big dreamers with brilliant business ideas. We need to unleash their potential to be the best they can do. That is why we are supporting 2,700 young entrepreneurs to realize their dreams in the 6th administration. Let me acknowledge that the processing of your application for Isikalo Youth Fund has been very slow. The transition between the other department to another one created a lot of technical glitches, but that has now been fixed, DG. The latest development is that communication is now being sent to all successful applicants, and ultimately all those who applied will be provided with feedback. Noba ufumenanga uzawuchazela uba ufumenanga sithini isizathu. Uzawufumana ke ngokwenye i-10 elandelayo. We don't stop funding youth-owned enterprises. We also provide opportunities for young people to trade with government. As a result, in the past 5 years, government spent 2.8 billion on Eastern Cape-based youth-owned businesses. There are a number of sectors that are out of reach for our youth. Many young people are taking the agricultural sector by storm. As we speak, 13,000 youth-led enterprises, including cooperatives with the agricultural sector, received government support. Dithetha ngabantu abatsha abafana noDintle Maphala wase Makalakeng village, Estate. I'm challenging you, young people in other rural communities, to organize yourselves into cooperatives so that government can come and nudge you and work with you. uDintle lo bendiye ngenyawo zami pha ngo-2019. I visited Dintle in that today Dintle is exporting. Dintle has been supported by all. So ungumzekelo ophilayo, Chief Whip. Uyamazi uDintle pa Sodolop. Yeah, pa between Jamestown neMalezwane. Honorable Speaker, we have now learned that to realize the goal of growing our economy, we need to pay special attention to our economic enablers, which are government-mandated activities. It is for this reason that we are aiming to significantly increase our investment in the industrial infrastructure. This infrastructure combines road networks, rail, ports, energy, water systems, telecommunication, and innovation capacities. The construction sector, Honorable Speaker, has created 15,600 jobs in our province in the past 4 years. Whichever direction you enter the province, you can see that the province is hard at work in improving our provincial and the national road network. We have given Sandra a number of our roads to make sure that we speed up the process. We are working with National Treasury and other entities to look at the possibilities of the front-loading or the pledging so that we can get all this kind of support that we need to be able to do roads that we should be able to do. We need more money to deal with our roads. As you know that indlela zethu uninzi lwazo zindlela ezizi-gravel roads. Kodwa ndiyafuna unixelele into yokokuba phaya eMsikaba, ibhorho eyenziwa phaya eMsikaba is now at 60% completion. And is going to change the outlook of that area. Umsikaba ke use Owartambo kanti uMthendu Alfred Nzo, those two mega bridges there. Umthendu has just started in December 2023, but we are targeting 2027 to complete that road. These two mega projects have special meaning to us because they are located in the two most impoverished, underdeveloped districts in our country as well as in our province. Their construction is already changing the lives of our people in Alfredzo and Owartambo in an unimaginable ways. In addition, 7 roads projects that lead to the 2 mega bridge will be upgraded from gravel to tarred services in villages across eMampondweni. Ezandlela zingena pha nobuthetha nobheke eMkhambathi ngoku. La ndlela izawufakelwa ibe yitha esuka pha nezingene ezilalini. Amampondo azawuhamba etheni ningakhalazi bathembu siyeza sisaqale pha eMampondweni sizawuhlanga entla siye kunyuka ngezantsi sizawuhlanga entla sizofika nakuni siguqule ubomi babantu bakuthi bube ngcono. Niyabona indlela ezenziwayo ububheka phaya eMnquma ikho into enzima kakhulu phaka up and under esiyibethayo ye-interchange. Omatiwana bazawulahleka pha, Honorable Matiwana. Noba uhamba ngale ndlela ihla apha uphuma apha eMonti ubheka ngase Port Alfred, there's another interchange that we are doing as we speak to allow abantu base-Kids beach bangasokoli xa kufuneka bephume kwi-highway. Niyayibona ke into eyenziwa ngapha ngase eBreybach, andifuna uyichazelwa ndim. Niyazibonela nani xa sibheka ngapha siphuma eQonce sisiya ngaseNgqushwa. Siqhekeza intaba ngapha kwaseNgqushwa xa ubheka eMakhanda. Kanti noba uyagqitha ngapha eNaskeni kwaBhaca ubheka eMaxesibeni sivula indlela pha la N2. Zininzi ezindlela ndingazibala kutshonilanga noba usuka ngapha eAlvan uhamba ngendlela kanokutsho ngoku uzowuqabela eBarkley usuke eEliot ubheke ngapha eNqanqarho uhamba kwindlela esemgangathweni noba usuka kwelinye icala lika-Friendly N6 uza ngeDordrecht Indwe indlela ziyenziwa. Sawukuvula ngoku u-R61 simconnecta ngapha ngakumabele entombi kunqwarhu sihle naye siyobeka ngaphaya ngaseCochran. Ndibiza ke indawo zalapha kubantu ngowalapha ndizihambe zonke ezi ndawo nethem iyaphela kushiyeka inyanga ezine. Before 1994, there were limited rural roads. But post-1994, we have access roads even in the most remote areas. Zezi ndlela zonakeleyo ke ngoku. Zonakaliswa zizikhukhula. Zazingekho indlela before 1994. Kuleya yami ilali, Professor Mayethula, indlela yayi gravel road esuka eNgcobo ebheke eDutywa ihamba phaa 7 kilometers away. Wawuyiyela indlela, i-gravel road. Namhlanje kukho indlela ezithungelanayo ezingenayo zonakele ke ngoku ezindlela. Yiyo lento befundisi bam xa nishumele ngethemba hlathi pha okokuba ezindlela siyaziqwalasela. Sithenge iplant sawuncedisa oomasipala ifikile iplant yokuqala ka-MEC Nqatha ezawuncedisa phaa kwamasipala. Sijongane nemeko yendlela khona ukuze abantu abadala bafumane ii-ambulances zingena ziyobathatha ezindlini zabo. Indlela siyenzela loo nto, indlela siyenzela i-economy. Xa sivula izindlela sizifakela itha, noba indlela yasehluleka, noba indlela yasedwesa-cwebhe kugatyane, noba indlela yasesiphethu, noba indlela yasemlamli esokolise kakhulu kodwa umcimbi wayo uyalungiswa. Sifuna zilandelwe zii-economic activities ezo ndlela sakuba sizenzile. So ngumsebenzi esiwenzayo lo siwenza kuzo zonke ezi district. Noba usuka eCraydog ubheke eHofmeyer senza indlela pha. Noba usuka eBhisho ubheka eQumrha 1 billion senza indlela. Nangapha eMatatiyeli ubheke eCedarville 1 billion silungisa laa ndlela. Noba usuka ngapha eMotherwell ubheke eKegwood 1 billion silungisa laa ndlela siyayivula khona ukuze abasomashishini bapha befruit bakwazi ukuweza izinto zabo lula ubheka phaa kumazibuko, izibuko laseKurha nezibuko laseGqeberha khona ukuze izinto zabo ziphumele ngaphandle. Ndibonakalisa nje ke umsebenzi omkhulu osiwenzayo. Silungisa ke nendlela le ihamba itrain. Sesinayo itrain ezapha ezisemanganizi apha, i-goods train. Seyigalele kabini apha yakhuphela kwinqanawe ezilapha e-East London. Into engazange yabakho kuba sikonekte indlela ngapha eBlaine yaze Beaufort yazojika kweli cala kuba sikonekta i-East London kwiGqeberha. Ngoku sisebenza nominister uPravin Gordhan noominister zonke oIbrahim Patel. Silungisa le ndlela isuka eGauteng enkulu izapha e-Eastern Cape, bekuthiwa mandithi Eastern Cape kodwa laa ndlela ibheka ngapha eGqeberha khona ukuze uFord ezaa moto azenza eSilverton eTshwane zihle ziqukuqele ziyofumana izibuko laseNgqurha zihambe ziwele senze amathuba emisebenzi senze imali. Ziimeko ke zezoqoqosho ezi. Ndifune ugxila kule nto yezoqoqosho speaker because ibalulekile le nto yezoqoqosho. Abantu bakuthi baye-understande uba ukuze sibheke phambili funeka silungele yonke le meko. Umcimbi wamanzi kudala sathetha ngomzimvubu, Nkosi uMdisho uqalile phaa umzimvubu. Uqalile umzimvubu sawuqala phaa eNtabelanga by April this year. Siyalilungisela dama laseLudeke belinethanda. Amanzi ayaphuma eLudeke ngoku abheka ezilalini zasembizana. Ayaqenqgeleka azawuhamba ayofika phaa phezu kolwandle eMzamba. Onke ezalali kwenziwa i-reticulation. So uDepartment of Water Affairs working with us and Amatola Water siqhuba kakuhle kakhulu. Nominister ude wakwazi ukuyigazetha into yoba iAmatola Water siyinike ubunganga siyikhulise ibe kwizinga leprovince so that iproject ezifana neLudeke ephaya embizana kulo OR Tam zingenziwa ngumngeni water ose-KZN. Ewe siyayi-understand uba zikwi-catchment yasemzimkhulu kodwa ii-projects zase-Eastern Cape must come and be implemented by our Amatola Water Board here in the Eastern Cape. eGqeberha anisava mntu ungxola ngo-day zero. It's government of the ANC that turned the situation around in Gqeberha. Bakhona bebeke baphatha pha kancinci yabaxaka laa nto bethetha yonke into lo. Safika pha sabahlangula pha sakhulisela dami laseNooitgedacht. Ngoku elaa dami liyakwazi usinika umgangatho nomyinga wamanzi afunekayo pha. Abantu beliphondo abebengenawo amanzi ngaphambili aphuma ezitepini, u-68% wabo they've got an access to piped water. Ingxaki esinayo kukuphuma kwamanzi ke ngokwezitepini. Siyafuna ke oomasipala bethu bonke baqinisekise uba amanzi ayaphuma ezitepini. Siyeke ukwenza izikimu ezingekho mgangathweni. Amanzi xa sithe siyawenza, masiwenze amanzi aphume. Sihambe indawo ezininzi Kapa, but also from the provincial government. We're rolling out our program on spring water. We've seen that. I've gone to Enqanqarho Ward 7. Ndiyovula phaya amanzi omthombo. Ndawabona indlela aphuma ngayo lamanzi. Sele zininzi ke ezo project bendiseqwebe entsika yethu kwezi ntsuku zimbalwa zigqithileyo. Umongameli ebelapha eTsomo eyovula phaya esa scheme siphaya. Zininzi izinto ezenziwayo around amanzi. BendiseXhorha ndiyovula pha amadami amabini eXhorha. That's the only town in the district of Amatole where we've built 2 dams at about 600 million each apha eXhorha. So ngoku siku-second phase wowukhupha amanzi kula madami siwakhileyo akhoyo ahamba amanzi abheke ebantwini, abantu bakuthi bafumane amanzi acocekileyo. So ngumsebenzi esiwenzayo lo, honorable members and honorable speaker. On energy supply, honorable speaker, we want to put a very sharp focus kulo mcimbi unento kwenza nombane, with load shedding taking the center stage. The Eastern Cape is developing over 11,400 megawatts of wind, solar, battery storage, and gas-to-power projects. That's the potential that we have. Without the development of new transmission lines and grid network capacity, we will not be able to wheel into the grid the 11,400. That's why we are working hard with the Minister, Dr. Josientwi Ramokgopa, to ensure that we are unearthing the potential of the Eastern Cape, including the work of the nuclear plant at Thames Point that we have been speaking about. It is back now into the equation. We are looking at it to make sure that that work is being done. But also the most important investment in this regard is the upgrade of the Grama Grass Ridge transmission line, which stretches from Gqeberha to Northern Cape. We welcome the call to revive nuclear energy, as I've said, phaya eJeffreys Bay. Sizawuyenza la nuclear, funeka sisebenzisane ingakumbi norhulumente baphaya norhulumente wapha wasekhaya. Despite the challenges of load shedding, we continue to connect many households with electricity. In 2011, 75% of households in our province had electricity. Today, 95% of households have access to electricity. I-load shedding yenziwa yinto okokuba abantu bakuthi ngobuninzi babo ngoku bane-access into that, and we need to increase capacity so that abantu bakuthi umbane bangawuboni ezidolophini baphile nawo. Xa siku-95% kumbane owawungekho before 1994, ngenene i-African National Congress has changed people's lives in this country. Life before 1994 is totally different kubomi buka post 1994. Somlomo umzamo uhle siyawuzama kodwa ugqatso asikalufezi. Let us now look at the issue of the governance. We have sought to create effective and efficient and accountable state in the past years. That's the Constitution saying to us. In 2011, none of our departments obtained a clean audit outcome. However, in 2022-2023 financial year, 8 government departments obtained clean audit outcome. Again, in 2011, none of our public entities obtained a clean audit outcome. But in 2022-2023, 7 public entities obtained clean audit. We have reduced municipalities with disclaimers from 17 in 2011 to 3 now in 2022-2023. We reduced municipalities with disclaimers. This achievement has been made possible through the implementation of audit improvement plans in line with Auditor General's recommendations. Auditor General uhleli kuthi nathi siyaphendula. We have also ramped up efforts to clamp down on conflict of interest matters. There have been positive outcome of investigation that have led to consequent management measures such as criminal conviction, demotion, and dismissal of officials implicated in fraud and corruption. Honorable Speaker, digital infrastructure is vital to make government services and information easily accessible to communities. We are also pursuing the vision of government-wide integrated information management system. We're doing this through the implementation of the broadband and other internet connectivity projects by agencies such as SA Connect and USASA, targeting schools and hospitals. The impact of this project is that our children in township and rural schools can access the internet and hospitals can digitize operations. As we speak, Honorable Speaker, 500 households in villages such as Sontombe, Duityini have internet access done by SA Connect. We appreciate the investment made by Vodacom and MTN to improve the communication network in our province, particularly in rural areas. I-network ibalulekile kuba kule ngxaki sinayo ye-gender-based violence. It also serves as security. Umuntu akwazi uba ne-panic button, akwazi ukufowunela the toll-free numbers, ingakumbi abantu abangomama. So vandalism is a problem. Vandalism, sonke funeka sisebenze ngayo. MTN puts an investment, Vodacom puts an investment. Within few months, people vandalizes that. Abantu bayoba ibhetri. So siyacela i-communities ziyazi ba xa kufakelwa le infrastructure kwenzelwa nina kutshintshe ubomi benu. Sanuvuma ke into kokuba onyana nentombi zenu benze loo nto. Siyawubona umahluko kakhulu komasipala. Umsebenzi omhle uyakhula. Omasipala bethu bayakwazi ukukhula. About 19 municipalities now are on unqualified audit outcomes. So that's a kind of an investment that we're putting it, because we're not going to change Eastern Cape if asikwazi ukufocus on local government space. So from local to district upwards, in the context of this district development model, we want to see that we are improving our agility, efficiency, and effectiveness for us to be able to change ubomi babantu bakuthi bube ngcono. Honorable members, traditional leaders remain a formidable partner in support of our efforts of cooperative governance, social cohesion, and economic development. In every social or economic development, the traditional leaders must be involved from the onset. Government prioritizes the efforts of recognizing traditional leaders, amongst them ikumkani amampondomise, ukumkani uZwelozuko, Matiwan, kunye nomama abafana nomama unkosi uNokhanyo Mathandela wenqila imathandela phaya eMatatiyela. Siyacela kodwa lo mcimbi wenkosi mayingabi ngumcimbi wokuconjululwa okanye wokulungiswa ngupremier. The royal families must do their part. Sinengxaki enkulu apha kulo mcimbi okokuba qho kubekho i-disputes ezifuna siqhubeke sigxile sichitha ixesha si-resolve ibhizi. Niyazazi mos akukho family ngena family 3. Ungcwayitho akunosuke kuseyinkosi uyazibeka nje ndiyamazi, akunosuke kuseyinkosi nje. So liphakathi la komkhulu eli phaya emampondomiseni. We are concerned by instances where disputes, as I've said, are always emerging. Colleagues, in response to these instances, we have set up the investigating committee on the traditional leadership disputes and claims in terms of the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act 3 of 2019. We urge traditional leaders to utilize this platform to resolve these disputes. Honorable Speaker, intellectual revolutionary poet Amilcar Cabral once said, and I quote, "Always bear in mind that the people are not fighting for ideas. They are fighting to win material benefits, to live better and in peace, to see their lives go forward, to guarantee the future of their children." Close quote. What we have just shared with the people of our province today is our seamless progress towards the fulfillment of what Amilcar Cabral has spoken about. In about 4 months, we will usher into office the 7th administration, which will take forward the work of building the Eastern Cape we want. Biofuel, cannabis, oceans economy, the Bishop Precinct, Bulembu Airport as a cargo international, the liquefied natural gas are the main programs that the 7th administration will pursue with vigor to unlock more economic benefits for our people and our province. Uba besibetha ngesinye namasebe athile phaa ku-national project like this one, LNG, behind us, and many other projects. We have moved with oceans economy. We are moving with biofuel. Siyayibuyisela phaya ibiofuel eKradokwe sodolophu waseKradokwe, as you would remember the meeting we had. In the remaining period of this term, government will increase the tempo in implementing all the planned programs and projects aimed at growing the economy and improving service delivery in our province. Furthermore, we are engaging national government to explore sustainable ways of optimizing infrastructure, financing, and delivery. That's what I spoke about when I spoke about pledging or the front loading. Furthermore, we are engaging national government, as I've said, to make sure that they work with us on that one to support us. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker and Honorable members, as this is the last State of the Province address for the 6th administration, let me pay gratitude to the people of the province for the honor they gave us to serve them. Silukhulele uxanduva ebenisinike lona. Siyazazi into okokuba izicwangciso zezethu kodwa izigqibo zivela kongasenhle. Besingayazi basaba ne-COVID-19, besingayazi basaba nezinye iinyikitya zempuphuma esibenazo, kodwa kuyo yonke loo nto ningabe banisaphila uba urhulumente we-African National Congress unikhathalele. Yimani ke ngoko nithi ngxishi enkululekweni enithe nakhulelwa kuyo khona ukuze ningabuye nibanjwe idyoko yobukhoboka. We look forward to achieving more greater things together. I urge all eligible voters of our province to take part in the 2024 elections to be held on the 29th of May to defend our democracy and advance a better life for all. Ubona ngalantu ba ikhona idate ebekwe okwakungazinzi ukubona pha kweza impahla zibomvu. Idate ibekiwe ayizutshintsha izawuhlala injeya asifikanga sigalekile kwaye siyabuya. Let us reject violence. Let us reject economic sabotage in favor of socio-economic progress. Makungatshiswa infrastructure, makungatshiswa itha xa abantu beqhankqalazela amanzi. Siyayicela loo nto leyo bantu bakuthi. We appreciate former premiers for their contribution to the development of our province in the 30 years of our freedom and democracy. Siyitsho loo nto noba abasekho ootata uStofile, umama uStofile ukhona namhlanje apha. Siyitsho loo nto noba abasekho ootata umhlaba, ifemeli katata umhlaba ikhona iyinxalenye yethu namhlanje. A word of gratitude goes to you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable members of the legislature, for the cooperation and decorum displayed in House in the 5 years of serving our people. Sadly, we lost some members of this House who were with us at the beginning of this term. Their memory lives on in our hearts